What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, Barcelona are beaten 4-2. They're beaten badly by Osasuna. And guys, we have to talk about this game because, it's our first loss in La Liga. But that was a horrible loss, guys. It was a horrible game. The first half was horrible. The second half was bad, too. And guys, let's talk about the game. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Wrote the 400 subs, and let's get into it. But guys, we displayed the green kit. Unfortunately, in a loss, the green kit, it does look decent. But guys, who cares about what we're wearing when ultimately football is the first thing and we have to win our games. The results are what matters. And guys, today Hansi Flick, he rotated, and I feel like he got it wrong, to be honest. I praised Hansi Flick for so many things, but today, you can't rotate against Osasuna, bro. Osasuna is just too good. Rotate maybe against Deportivo Alaves, not Osasuna. Osasuna is they're a tricky team for us. And Osasuna, they started well and they just continued off of that momentum. We saw a lot of change, and I feel like it was too much, especially with our wingers, Rafinha and Yamal. I feel like these two are very, very needed. Yamal is just so good. You saw the goal today. Yamal's creativity, his scoring also this season, and then Rafinha, he also can score. He also can provide an assist and also that running power. And ultimately, he's just better than Ferran. He's better than Pau Victor at the moment, and he's just honestly one of our better players. So we can't have him on the bench. And the next thing I want to say is that Robert Lewandowski, if you don't provide him service, he does not look good and he looks washed if you don't. You have to provide him 3, 4, 5 chances a game. And if we're not doing that, honestly, I like that he subbed him off because it takes some cojones to do that. But still, Robert Lewandowski today, that was probably his worst performance. He didn't really do anything. He missed a chance. I think when Koundé passed it to him, he has to score that, to be honest. It's too big of a chance to miss, especially in the circumstances. And then Inaki Peña today, I feel like Inaki Peña was just not a good keeper. Today, I feel like he didn't bail us out once. And, 4 goals is crazy, man. Like, at least make a save or two on one of them. But today, he didn't do anything convincing. And I feel like he was just awful, to be honest. I think Szczesny has to start once he comes in and once he's ready to play. And then Pedri, I feel like Pedri was the only one in the midfield dropping in deep. I feel like Eric Garcia didn't really do that. And Casado didn't play. And then Pablo Torre was doing that a bit, but he's the 10. So Pedri, I feel like he was kind of alone in that midfield, and that's not good. And Hansi Flick, ultimately, he got cooked by Brian Zaragoza. I feel like Koundé, man, this guy has Koundé's number, man. Zaragoza, he did it last year when he was at Granada. He got his move to Bayern, and then now he's at Osasuna, and man, that guy's a great player, man. Like, he's better than Ferran Torres. I don't care. I know I'm kind of mad right now, but Brian Zaragoza, how many times does he cook our defense single-handedly, with his dribbling, sometimes with the through ball, today even with the goal. And Brian Zaragoza, that cross that he had to Budimir was like, that's sensational, to be honest. And, Budimir is a real target man, and I feel like this is what this team's going to struggle against. Teams like Osasuna who can exploit the high line. They're not offside, but they're onside, and they're making good runs. And then not only that, they have the quality of crosses, and then they have their guy, Budimir, who can actually take his chances, unlike some other teams, like Borja Mayoral against, Getafe the other day wasn't good at all once he came on. But Budimir, on the other hand, this guy's a proper target man, and he scored his goal. He scored 2, actually. He scored the penalty, and man, that was just disappointing. And, I'm honestly just deflated. Hansi Flick, I feel like rotating against a team with a low block, I don't think that was the move. I feel like we learned from Getafe that these low blocks are difficult to beat, and Osasuna did it, but this time they added offense. They added a counterattack, and they attacked with numbers, and that was kind of dangerous. And Barcelona, ultimately they paid the price. And the next thing I want to say is that Alejandro Balde has to start the game. I feel like at halftime, you at least got to sub him in then. And I feel like Hansi Flick, he got a number of things wrong. And I feel like this is probably his first game that he got it wrong in multiple departments. And that's why we lost 4-2. And not only that, it's just clear, like, no offense to some of the B team players who are playing at Barcelona now in the first team, like Gerard Martin and also Sergi Dominguez. But guys, there's a clear, lack of quality. The drop off is too big. And Hansi Flick, I know he's not making excuses, but guys, this is too big of a quality to drop. Sergi Dominguez, I feel like Inigo Martinez was playing the ball of his life. He has a rest day, and then this is what happens. Like, Sergi Dominguez, I know it's not all on him, but he gave away the penalty. I feel like maybe Inigo would have got there. And then not only that, the Brian Zaragoza goal, he just burned him for speed. And maybe if that was Ronald Araujo, I know we have so many injuries, but guys, ultimately these guys are backup players are just not good enough at this point. And Budimir, he had his way. I know Kubarsi was there when he scored the header, but Budimir is a real target man. And this is when you need Araujo, you need Christensen, you need your most physical players. Even Inigo, he probably would have been up for the dogfight. But guys, Budimir scored, and then I feel like Sergio Dominguez, once again, I feel like he's not really that good, to be honest. And Eric Garcia, I feel like should have been the center back, sub out Dominguez, maybe put in Casado a bit earlier at halftime. And I feel like we waited too long for the changes. And that's on Hansi Flick also. And it's not like I'm hating on Flick, because watch my previous videos. I praised him multiple times, but Jan Laporta, I'm going to say this once. Sell Ferran Torres. How many times do I have to say sell Ferran Torres? I made a video in the summer. Ferran Torres is not doing anything. We don't need him. He's like similar to Rafinha in a way that he's erratic. But guys, Rafinha gets us more goals, and he's going to get us more assists. And guys, he also defends harder. He makes more runs, from what I see. And then Ferran Torres, I feel like he's a nothing player. And Jan Laporta, he has to see that, because, guys, it's going to cost us. Because attacking players, like, look at Lamine Yamal. Today, he didn't even have his best game. He scored a banger when he came on. But guys, they were doubling him, tripling him, and he still scores. Ferran Torres cannot do this. This is quality that you can't buy. And Ferran Torres, I'm sure we could sell him. We could have got Elise in the summer, maybe for what, 40 million euros? Do that, and I just feel like we have a lack of quality when outside of a couple of players in our attack. Rafinha, he's a good player. Yamal, he's an exceptional player, okay? Robert Lewandowski on his day is good, but sometimes when these two are not giving him service, Robert Lewandowski can look like a bit average, let's be honest. And, I feel like Rafinha today, he was off the bench, but to be honest, you have to start him. And this is my thing with Hansi Flick. He got it completely wrong. You can't underestimate Osasuna. I think we're 7th before the game. And why would you rest against a 7th place team? Getafe, it's okay to rest that game, because Getafe were 18th. And 18th, that's a huge difference. And that tells you that Osasuna are a real team. And Getafe, they're struggling. They can't really score. Even when they break away, they probably won't score, because that's what they do. They're inefficient. But Osasuna today, man, and we're finally seeing, the result of too many injuries finally come to Hansi Flick. Unfortunately, Frankie de Jong injured. I don't know when he's going to be back, because we need him in that midfield, man. We have a lack of bodies. Christensen, when is he going to be back? Because we have a lack of center backs. Gavi, we need him. We need Gavi back too. Too many injuries. Ronald Araujo's out. Fermin Lopez and Olmo, that's going to be such a big boost to Hansi Flick's system. But guys, too many injuries. And I feel like the team, brushes under the carpet and look forward to young boys. I think we played the midweek in the Champions League. And guys, we have to beat this team. And honestly, the way that we lost, we have to beat them convincingly, to get some, hope for the fans to look good. I think we're going to be at home, and just impress the fans and look good against young boys. And then against Alaves on the weekend next week, Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski, play all of them, put on a show, and then, enter the international break. Hopefully no more injuries, in the international break and before that. And Hansi Flick, you got a job to do, because, we have a tough season and this is our first loss. Hopefully not too many. But guys, that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 400 subs, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.